revelation that another serial killer was on the hunt.
3 decades, the mystery had remained unsolved. That's when a group of Elizabethton High School students started their research.
The students spent that initial 2018 spring semester gathering evidence, speaking with investigators, building case files.
One of the things you gotta have to be a great teacher is you gotta have the kids interested and you gotta have them really excited about their work.
Through their investigation, they were able to identify a potential suspect.
Now teacher Alex Campbell wants to get another group of students together to continue the research.
7 years ago, the only thing we had were a few newspaper articles. I want you to look up there and see how far things have come. But now the question's still haunting us. Is there a serial killer getting away with murder right here in our backyard? Growing up here is awesome. Kids grow up outdoors. They just got plenty of woods to hike around in. You got waterfalls, fishing, hunting. Kind of idyllic.
What's going on? Hi guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Okay.
You can't hide in small town. I mean, it is a beautiful place, but there are lots of secrets locked up in these mountains.
Small town in the hills of Appalachia. Pretty much everybody that I know is either my cousin, a distant relative. When I get old and retire, I'll probably be here.
Everybody helps everybody cares about you. My favorite thing about living.
As far as things they get wrong, they feel like we're kind of backwards and a little bit slow. Let me ask you a question. Do y'all really not wear shoes back in East Tennessee? I'm like, yeah, we wear shoes.
My family and I have lived here for generations, yet I had never heard of the Red Murders cases. I was just researching online. I started seeing all this information, and I had never heard of it. These murders were happening in our own backyard. If nobody remembers them, how are these cases ever going to get solved? That's the reason I wanted to teach this case. This is what we're working on.
We always hear rumors about Mr. King being that weird, kind of crazy teacher, but everybody wants to be in his class. I took sociology about 6 years ago. You never seen a sociology class where they talk about people getting murdered, but it is how we study people.
sociology and criminology go together hand in
Kind of
hand.
wrapped up in the story. I wish I didn't tell.
I didn't know it was going to get that big at the top.
This case really explodes.
Jordan, Lady, Lance, Dubby, Metcalf, and Whoop. So today we're going to try to do something, and we'll have to use our brains. It's a little summary activity. I know, Mr. McDuck, you better borrow something. What y'all been doing all summer? Napping? Vaping? Yeah. But you say yes? I'll talk to your dad. All right, so for the last 7 years, my students have been doing a lot of work on our certain project. It was ice cold when we got it. There hasn't been any movement on those cases in over 30 years. But over the last 7 years, those cases have gone from ice cold to smoking hot, okay? But there is still a lot of work left to do. So what we're going to do this year is actually begin to look at the victims and try to figure out who they are as a human being, so we can try to figure out maybe who would have killed them. So late 1984, early 1985, all these bodies started showing up. They began to notice a pattern that was happening here. So in 2017,
Hello,
the
hello,
original
welcome,
class of
welcome,
students
welcome.
looked at all of the redhead murders. Now that was, depending on kind of what source you look at, that could be as many as 22, maybe 24 murders. So if we think about this group of 22 to 24 victims, what do you think might have been something that made people kind of lump them together?
Race.
Okay, race, very good. All these women are white. Body type, all right, these were all pretty small. How about age, right? These were all under 40, usually from
Hello,
late
hello,
teens to
hello.
like
Welcome in,
late
welcome in.
20s.
I'm doing my hair.
So how do you get this huge number down to a group of 6 to 7? What do you think are some things that make it more specific?
Cause of death?
That's very good. Let's add our cause of death in here. What if they were set on fire, thrown off a bridge? Two different, right? You guys know what was usually the cause of death in this group? Strangulation, something up close, personal with the hands. I think location here becomes even more important. Almost all of these were found close, interstate, or it was a major highway. These weren't women that were like snatched off front porches. These are women whose lives were already in motion. Anything else? What about time period? We're not talking about a decade of murder. What we're talking about is a short, violent storm
Okay,
that happened
we got
over
a
about a
section.
6-month period from late 1984 to March of 1985. Really, there was this inner core is what we're talking about. This inner core right here
So
of 6 to
we'll
7
start
women.
here.
That's what the students said. You know what? We need to look and see if these
and then
people
we'll go back.
could have been victims of the same serial killer.
Nice and big.
Whatever he does, he gives it his all. From the time we were teenagers, he's been a power lifter. So weightlifting has been his passion, his thing.
Ooh, that was good wrist control. Nobody, Brandon. Nobody.
And then he got into reenacting.
But it's a little brisk, a little cool outside, you know, you can just put this on. Warms you right up.
And so he started hand making primitive things.
This is pretty cool. I traded a guy for mountain lion head, skin of mountain lion head. And I thought I would make me like a really cool cell phone pouch.
He taught himself how to weave on a loom.
This is like show and tell for big boys.
And then we had the project. He decided we needed to build a cabin. Alex does not deal with failure very well. That's one reason that he gives it his all and he goes above and beyond, because he's just not going to take no for an answer. You can tell me it's not possible, but I'll prove that it is.
That's that white man way.
The hardest part
That's the white man's way.
is it's not set up for learning. It's
Because
set up to
sometimes
take a bunch
that
of
type of
tests.
tenacity is necessary.
A
Sometimes
few years
that
ago,
type
as a
of
teacher,
tenacity is
I
called
noticed that
colonization.
I've been losing maybe a little bit of my excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the students weren't that excited either. I would love if the whole country was required to do project-based learning. Let's stop doing ridiculous junk that doesn't help anybody, and let's focus on the kind of learning that really does help our students. I like to think of myself as a rat on the bottom of the ship. Let's just say it's the Titanic, okay? So there's this big, huge machine that's been in motion for a long time. It weighs who knows how much, it's got so much momentum, and there's a captain and all kinds of people on there that know everything about it, and they've got to go in a certain direction. But the bad news is we're heading for an iceberg, a collision with something that's not going to be good. Now, I'm not the captain. I'm not the Secretary of Education. I'm not on the school board. I'm not even a principal. So I don't get to hang out up there with the captain, but I'm just like a little rat at the bottom of the ship. But I'm thinking that rats love to chew, and they chew on wires, and maybe if this rat chews on just the right wires, I might change something about the direction of that ship. If I want my students to care,
That's the
really
dumbest
care,
fucking thing I've ever
maybe
seen.
I should give them something worth caring about in my classroom.
Got to touch down about that.
I've never really been in true crime. I don't like horror films either. I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to stuff like that. Being a senior, I just don't really know what I want to do. But last year, I made a journalism piece about how our school doesn't have windows.
Why is the simple privilege of looking in a window not even an option at our school? History, band, and finally in computer applications we found our first window. But it only looks at another brick wall. Even the prisoners in our city have over 200 windows to look.
With this class, there's already been so much crazy stuff happen in the past. I just want to have my camera ready to see what comes next. It's not necessarily true crime, but like trying to help someone out can be very powerful. So I think of this. Yes. Okay. Let's start with like your name, grade.
My name is Natalie Kodak, and I'm a sophomore.
Natalie, she's like, reminds me of my sister. Why did you take sociology?
I took sociology because it was a class that I was taking with my boyfriend at the time, and then we broke up, and then he dropped out of the class. So my name is Shelby. Am I supposed to look in? I'm sorry.
Shelby is super smart. She's very involved in a lot of things.
You cleared left. I'm so proud of you. You didn't run into Superman or Fond Geese or another airplane.
Okay. I'm Oscar Lyons. I'm in 5th grade. Austin, mysterious, quiet. Lacey, I don't really know her well, but she does seem very extroverted. McDuffie, he's younger. He's kind of like the goofy, class clown. And then you have someone like Hannah, who understands like this is super, super important to the class. Like this is someone's life we're talking about.
Well, I originally took this class in my junior year, and I fell in love when we took that class, so I decided to
took it again. I told the principal that I didn't care what he gave me as long as I had this class for his senior year.
She is super serious about it. Like, there ain't a day in there that she's joking around. But, you know, Crimson's someone that's newer to the school and kind of quiet. I just don't know her that well yet.
We've all been there. You see one of these kiosks, you can't help but stop and try to find your name on a keychain. Unfortunately, that's how it is with some insurers. They'll send you on a scavenger hunt just to get the help you need. But you can always count on Geico for tailored, friendly service. They never have my name. I mean, why can't I have a normal name like Gino? Gino the Gecko, at your service.
It feels good to get personal. It feels good to Geico.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. I'm other GLP-1s for type 2 diabetes.
And this is GLP-1 trivia. Name the only GLP-1 for type 2 diabetes that is FDA approved to lower the risk of worsening chronic kidney disease.
Ozempic, correct!
Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas, gallbladder, or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Taking with sulfonylurea or insulin may raise low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
There's only one Ozempic.
Good morning, Cyclones. Get ready to bring the energy. Our homecoming game is this Friday night. Be loud, be proud, and let's cheer our team to victory. Go Barnett.
This is all normal. Oh yeah, kids don't want to talk to teachers when I'm cooking.
We're lame.
Yeah, if you stand around a teacher too long, you get a bad reputation. Is that right, Miss Luke? Yeah. Hey guys, go ahead and get out your Chromebooks. Go ahead and have those out. You're going to need those. We can't waste any time. We've only got 45 minutes. So we learned about victimology. We've got a lot of similarities between the victims, but very little physical evidence. I want to see if we can get any more information on the redhead murders. Might be hard, but we're just going to have to dig. So I think now is the time for us to do the FOIA requests. Do you guys remember what the FOIA request is? Yeah.
Access to public records and information.
That's right. So FOIA stands for Freedom of Information Act. It was a federal law that was passed that says certain things are open records that anybody in the public should have access to. Do you guys remember anything that the two big things we should be able to get in the state of Tennessee? Yeah.
Is it one of my police reports?
Yeah, the original police report. What's the other thing? That's very important. We haven't gotten one from anybody yet. Years and years we've been looking. You guys remember the other one? It's the original medical examiner's report. We are entitled to those, okay? Right? And as just citizens of this state, you ask for it, they're supposed to get it. Are you guys ready to see if you can get the information that you're just supposed to be able to get anytime you want it because you're a citizen of this state and you deserve it?
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I was wondering if I could file a FOIA request to you. If you could just get it back at me with this number, or send me a message and give me the numbers, that would be great. Thank you. Tell us about it.
So what does this request typically entail?
It's what access to public documents.
No.
And he told me that they didn't do anything with FOIA requests at all. And he transferred me to Metro.
or sorry. You've reached a number that has been disconnected or no longer in service.
And then I called Metro, and they said that they also didn't do anything for the requests. 4 numbers. This is the one that I called. And if you go all the way down, their official number is that same number. How the heck is it not in service if that's their official number?
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, this is Crimson from Melissa Bethel High School. I would like to fill out a FOIA request.
Choose to reopen it, or to add to it, or to discard it.
What, did you get anything?
They just kept transferring me to other phone numbers.
More helpful people. Okay. So I'm hoping that you're beginning to see something. You want to know why there's so little information on all these murders? Because everybody for the last 30, 40 years that's tried to get this information feels just like you. So just because that there's a state law that says you have the right to this information doesn't mean it's going to be easy to get. Is that kind of settling in on you guys?
You have to go there and be in the people face.
I'm not too far, so anytime you need me, I'll be there for you.
Mr. Campbell talked about your class starting out. Did y'all have any leads?
Nothing at all. It's a shot in the dark. Obviously, that kind of leads into like the profile. So we need to do a serial killer profile.
If you know somebody likes to choke, likes to kill with his bare hands, he can't be a weak little guy that's like 5'4" and 125 pounds. He's got to have low meat. More than likely, probably going to be white male. Serial killers tend to like to murder their own race. Maybe they have some trauma with a red-handed woman. That's kind of where maybe that hatred and motivation comes from. You know, somebody's dumping bodies across interstates. They got to do a job that has that type of transportation. So a truck driver, UPS man, a mailman. Truck driver, for example, most of the time they have a cab in the back. So they have somewhere to sleep, they have somewhere to hike. I have a little bit of connection because my dad was a truck driver.
Out on the road, you're basically by yourself. So anything can happen. I mean, you can get away murdering. I mean, you really can because nobody's there to watch you.
Trucking was deregulated about 1980. And it went from having big trucking companies with all these regulations and rules to these small, unregulated trucking companies. Well, the victims really started piling up between late 1984 and early 1985. Why didn't these bodies start piling up in the late 70s? It just began to get clear to us that this person has probably started their own small trucking company that doesn't have much oversight. And because they have more freedom on the road, they can do these things that they couldn't do before.
So now that you have the killer profile, what were the next steps?
Mr. Campbell, he has called and tried to contact any police department that would listen to him, but nobody would. We was like, we need to share this with somebody.
Holy mother of pearl.
We need a
Ain't
big
that right?
press conference, a press release.
Do you sell shades? Why would you think I sell shades?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege and honor to welcome you to our press conference. My name is William Bowers, and I'm a part of Mr. Campbell's sociology class.
Mr. Campbell knew like somebody had to start us off, somebody had to set the tone, and he picked me.
37 years ago, a man murdered a old woman and laid her body beside him. 5 more women she had said.
Today, we are here to recognize these voices so the people out there with the information that law enforcement needs to identify these victims and solve these crimes can come forward.
So many eyes were watching this, and that was the beautiful thing of it.
I thought he was a shy kid, and like me. And you turn on the news and there he is. I said, that is my kid. And I said, he's talking, so it just amazed
So after the press conference, we immediately started getting tips. People start to call me, Oklahoma. Hello? Saying, I think I ran into the killer. I think I escaped the killer. I think my ex-husband is the killer. And we're in a custody battle, so can you call quickly? I mean, it was weird.
Sooner or later, tips came into PBI. Those leads turned into identifications.
And that was the first break in over 30 years.
It has been more than 3 decades since investigators discovered a woman dead in Campbell County. Now we are finally learning her identity.
Campbell County Jane Doe has now been identified as Tina Marie Farmer.
The blanket wrapped around her dead body gave the clues to her killer.
They had some evidence that had never been DNA tested. So when they tested it, there it is.
Through DNA evidence, TBI identified Jerry Leon Johns as the suspect in Tina Farmer's death.
He was the suspect in 1985, but police just did not have enough proof.
DNA technology changing has made it possible for us to go find that match.
And the reason that it had his DNA is because he was in prison. The reason he was in prison is because he tried to kill another redheaded woman. And then shot him.
I looked at him, I said, "Are you gonna kill me?" He said, "Yeah," and I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you're a nuisance."
Jerry Johns was convicted in 1985.
He died in prison in 2015.
And but for Mr. Johns' own death in 2015, he would have been indicted for first-degree murder.
We find out it's Jerry Johns. Now there's a suspect. We need to really dig into Jerry Johns and say, if he's a serial killer, did he kill anybody else?
The facts, when packed bunch, they can leak.
That's so real.
Try new Always Flex Foam. It's made with bunch-resistant foam to help prevent leaks. Up to 0 bunching, 0 leaking. This is no ordinary pad. Switch to new Always Flex Foam.
Shaped by time and tradition.
This is my heritage. This is my transformation.
The living energy of Patera, derived from fermentation, transforms your bare skin into your best skin. Crafted in Japan for every skin type.
SK2.
Did you know that even with scrubbing, some dish soaps still leave invisible grease behind?
Not mine. These are clean.
How about we take a closer look?
What? I just cleaned them.
Switch to Dawn Platinum. It powers through and removes up to 99% of invisible grease, including stubborn food residue other dish soaps can leave behind.
Now that's clean.
That's why only Dawn is trusted by rescue workers to save wildlife affected by oil. Dawn Platinum, the better grease getter. Welcome to the all-day sweat test. It's secret clinical versus ordinary antiperspirant. Let's go. You've got this. Final push. Nice work. Looks like Secret's the winner. With 100-hour protection and 100-degree heat, this DO won't quit on you. Stay fresher under pressure.
All right, students. We have a very busy day today. Now, I know it's been
Is
a
it
little
like
bit.
some new slang or something? Show me some chocolate over here, child.
Man, was teaching too much stuff here. I know, I gotta quit. Gotta quit teaching interesting stuff. Can I leave North Korea? So, we've added a suspect up here, which I think everybody is familiar with. What would you say if I told you that thanks to the 4 requests that you submitted, we got some stuff that nobody's ever seen before? Well, I'm hoping you'll believe me. Would you be excited was the question.
Yes.
You guys remember when we talked about the mask of sanity? Harvey Clancy said that if they have an IQ over 100, that usually means they're smart enough to know that other people would think there was something wrong with them if they let their true desires be known. So they feel like they have to hide that. And so they present as a normal person, like me and you. And they do this by putting up this front, which Harvey Clancy called the mask of sanity. So there's going to be people who have only seen this person being a really nice, great, upstanding citizen.
I'm from Tennessee.
Every once in a while, somebody might get a little glimpse, especially when what they're looking for, of the person that they really are. And maybe the only people that ever see them for who they truly are, maybe they're victims. So what if I told you we had some recordings from the Linda Shockey trial and from different people who saw it different ways? Did y'all want to listen to that?
Yes, yes, now.
Like now?
Now.
I was thinking we should probably wait till tomorrow. I wouldn't want to do this.
No. I mean, what if I go moment trip and break my neck? I don't think
Anything that happened.
I want to hear every word, every syllable.
I think the first one we're going to hear is from Jerry John's wife. At the time he was arrested, they were separated, and eventually they went to get divorced. But she did an interview. Would y'all like to hear what she said about Jerry?
You want the truth? I was very young. So, I was young, naive, and in love. So, when I met Jerry, I didn't know Jerry was a half-brother. I don't know if it was 12, 13, something like that. And then when Jerry and I had hit it off and stuff on there, then that's when they wanted to bring it up. No, wait, listen, I'm telling you, it's already too late. With being pregnant, I was scared, and I checked with my doctor, and he said, Phyllis, let me tell you something. Drop the incest, drop all that. He said, it has nothing to do with it. Your child is healthy, because I was concerned. He was a very caring person. He took care of us, and he provided for us. Asked me if I was hungry, if I had to go to the bathroom. Once we had kids and stuff, talking about kids, plans, and things we'd like to do and stuff. It was more of a family. Jerry was no freaking murderer. Very highly intelligent. In fact, we were getting chased one night. And I'm like, why are you running from the police? And he said, ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. That was his most famous saying. And he pulls into the police station. Best place to hide. He was not stupid. He was in jail, and the police showed the pictures. Damn, them girls look a lot like I did. And I'm like, whoa, was he trying to kill me? Just stupid things run through your head. If you knew Jerry, he was too smart, too intelligent. He had no reason to hurt anybody. So, as far as murder, I never seen him.
Thoughts?
Her first thought was that they looked like her.
She said, I first thought that those girls looked a lot like me when I was their age. He wouldn't kill her. He was too smart. He'd immediately get caught, right? No one way to get caught is kill somebody you know. But who was he killing? Small, white, red-headed women? Maybe he was killing women that reminded him of her. It is scary. So thank you for picking that up. What's going on over here?
She had said that his mom had slept around and was with other people.
And so did she know that they were related?
Not until everything started.
She said not first. He came to stay there when he was in the Marines, right? You hear that? So 18 or 19. She said I was young. She said it like 2 or 3 times. Do you know how young she was? She was about 12. Well, your eyeballs got big. You want to say something?
I thought she was a little bit older.
So she's 12, and that's like, what, 6th grade? But she said, but no, he couldn't be a murderer. He was a really nice guy. Give you the shirt off his back. He just wanted the money to provide for his family. So she saw one side. Would you like to see somebody that saw another side?
Yes.
This would be David Davenport. He was the TBI agent who interviewed Jerry multiple times. Do you think might be fire, might be busting? Do you think he saw a different? Do you think he saw a different side? Can you handle it?
Yeah. He has no soul. It's all empty. Most people have a conscience. Jerry Johnson did have no conscience.
He can go down to battlefield a timeline by his truck logs. Some of it showed that he could have been involved in more than one. Whether he picked him up, he tried it, whether he met him truck stop, or in strip places. I think it's just what presented yourself with the easiest opportunity at the time that the urge hit him and he wanted to do something. Bottom line, there's a lot of evil people out there, and he was one of them. Now, you can hang any moniker you want, sociopath, narcissist, psychopath on him, but he was basically evil. He had no regard for human life. That's the way I see Jerry Jones. There was enough circumstances with him being an over-the-road truck driver and the strangulation aspect that made us think that he may have been involved in more than one.
All right, there was a lot of heavy hitters in there, but here's what I want to know. Is Jerry Johns the guy who would give you the shirt off his back, or was he basically evil, no regard for human life? You look him in the eye, he has no soul, he was empty, he was pure evil. Like, which one is he?
Both.
How can he be both? Is he evil or not?
And it's like high school girls.
What? All right, we're gonna let you. I'm gonna let you talk, so you'll never have another date again. But go ahead.
They can be friends to each other in the face. Then they go home and they can talk crap about him behind their back. It's like two different people, you know? Two-faced. He's two-faced.
All right, I'm not gonna comment. I'm just gonna let your comment stand.
Okay.
But one real thing before we leave, we got like a minute. So the one person, maybe the only person that ever saw Jerry for who he really was the surviving victim, Linda Shockey. And look, she's spent 40 years of her life trying to forget this. She doesn't like to talk to media. So Andrew, you know that camera you've been carrying around? I think it's time to put it to good use. Why don't we send her a video explaining exactly who we are? And if we do a good job, maybe we can be the first class to ever hear from the survivor of the serial killer. No pressure. Anybody enjoy that today? Whoa. I can't promise big days like that every day.
Good well. Very well.
You liked it?
Pretty good.
I hope you and nothing ever happens between you and Josie, because once it gets around that you said women are like serial killers, I'm not sure you're ever going to get another date, but that'd be all right.
Plan B made over-the-counter emergency contraception available more than 20 years ago. So when it matters, the choice is mine. That's freedom to be.
Plan B is the #1 OBGYN recommended emergency contraceptive. The facts? Bunching white pads? Ruin everything. Literally. Try new Always Flex Foam. The new top layer absorbs up to 2 times faster to help block in blood and sweat, so you feel fresh. This is no ordinary pad. Switch to new Always Flex Foam. I need cream for this curly bad day. Oh, curls, just wanna have fun. And big volume and sweet, but that's all I really want. Moisture all week long, fun won't stay on. Oh, curls, just wanna have fun. All these curls just wanna have fun.
Want to get more done with one sheet? Grab Bounty. Bounty is made to be stronger and more absorbent. So while ordinary brains can't hold up, one sheet of Bounty keeps working even when wet. Can your paper towel do all that? Bounty, the quicker, bigger up. America's #1 trusted paper towel.
How you feel? You think we're
No.
Hey, homecoming? No chance? No chance? I'm gonna get ready to wrestle it. Alright. Alright, I'll see you.
I'm officially called the weird girl at school. The other day, I was talking to someone, and they asked me what my name was, and I told them, and they were like, oh, you're the weird girl people talk about. And I was like, oh, thanks. That sucks.
I had always had a passion for fostering, and I had always wanted kids of my own. Last year, we got a call for a teenage boy and a teenage girl. It was Crimson, my brother. Crimson paced for like a good 6 months. Every day, like every moment that she was awake, she paced.
Yeah, our normal was if she was in her room most of the time.
There was just creak, 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 creak. And we were like, should we put a carpet on top of the carpet so she didn't like literally wear a hole?
Yeah, I paced a lot. I recently just got into foster care, like 2 years ago. I love my foster parents. Now I'm like 17, and I already feel like I have to be an adult. I'm already applying for college and stuff. It's hard for me too because I came second to last year of school, so it's hard making friends. I didn't get to be hyper as a kid, but high school kids are so like edgy and nonchalant that they get embarrassed. You can't have anything. You can't even have joy and whimsy. I want to be able to rant about my cookie game, and like you don't have to care. You just have to say every once in a while. I'm still figuring out myself, I think.
Now that we know more about the who, I want us to understand more about the why. This is Jerry John's criminal record.
Escape from federal custody now. How do you do that?
When he was 15, he stole a car. From there on, he goes AWOL from the military. He gets caught carrying a concealed weapon. He has arson. So it doesn't just start when we believe he started doing it.
You have birth certificate. What was his dad's name? It was Louis Cotton. We heard the courthouse burned down. So when his mom went down there to get him a birth certificate, she said John's, even though he was born in Cogdell. Have you heard the name Cogdell before with anybody else? His wife, Phyllis.
That's the half sister.
So that is the wife / half sister.
Wow.
But it doesn't look like that on the birth certificate.
So what's kind of crazy is when we believe he separates from his wife. Only 2 weeks later, the first redhead victim is murdered.
Wow.
So with a lot of serial killers, you usually have a big traumatic event.
Yes, most serial killers are going to have a stressor that will lead to them actually acting out and beginning to take life. It's just kind of interesting. After they separate, about 6 victims show up in about 6 months.
Meet Wegovy pill, the first FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss pill. Lose weight and keep it off with the new once-daily pill from Wegovy. People taking Wegovy pill lost over 30 pounds, and some lost over 47 pounds. Proven results in a little pill.
Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or a serious allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines for it. Call your prescriber if you experience vision changes or heart racing at rest. Side effects of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
With Wegovy, you can live lighter with less weight. Get started for a lower price. Ask your prescriber about Wegovy Pill today.
We invited passionate soccer fans to push Nissan vehicles to the limit, just like they do with their teams. Further proof that the Nissan lineup is tested and trusted by the toughest. Hurry in to bring home a winning offer at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR on select model trims for well-qualified buyers, or get up to $5,750 total savings on select Frontier trims.
Okay, so, do you guys see the timeline? So I'm going to see if you all can put things in order, okay? So you'll be getting an artifact. Might be a picture, might be a news article, might be something else. First thing, how about we go with August 1984?
Lisa Nichols' body was found in 84.
Lisa Nichols' body was found in 1984. September, who's got Lisa Nichols' picture? And that goes up right there, September 1984. All right, so Lisa Nichols was the first victim found.
Now, of the 6 redheaded victims that were going to be discovered during this time, Lisa Nichols was the first one to be found and the only one to be identified.
So I started digging online.
I found this article that comes out when Lisa is identified.
She was found in September of 1984. She was beside an exit ramp, actually found by a hitchhiker. Wearing a shirt, but nothing else. She'd been there for a few days. At first, nobody recognized her. Eventually, though, a girl that she was with contacts the police and says that she thinks she knows who this is. A woman named Lisa Nichols. Eventually, they track down her pimp, and he says that he saw her last getting into a truck at a truck stop in West Memphis, Arkansas. It says, body identified as redhead murder victim, Lisa Nichols. The subheading says, has long prostitution record. Why didn't it say, has 3 kids and missed her? Doesn't matter who she is, we're going to get her justice. Why doesn't it say that? It's kind of funny that the first thing they mention about her is she was a prostitute. Doesn't mention that she had a mom and dad. Doesn't mention that she had kids. Doesn't mention that she had family members that loved her. Doesn't mention that she has been trafficked by other people. It just says, yeah, she's a prostitute.
I think it excuses like the fact that they just didn't want to look into it because they saw her as less than.
I mean, doesn't that tell you a lot?
On the first few lines, it says that she has the second longest prostitution record in Nashville history. So when people read her article, that's what they think of her, as just another prostitute, not as an actual victim who had family and was important to people.
So
They said it like it's happened so much. Like they're just over it and they don't care anymore.
When the media devalued these women, it seemed like the world did too. And maybe that's why these cases have been cold for so long. Look at the timeline. All of this destruction is happening in about a 6-month period. And then remember, nothing really happens until about 2018. And to be honest, if this is a 6-month period, then this timeline, like when this stuff actually happened on here, would be through the wall and through the hallway and down into the band room, right? Does that make sense? I think we should all take a walk outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victims right there. And Tina Farmer was identified in 2018. How many years between 1985 and 2018? 33. So if each one of these is 6 months, how many of these do we have to go until something happens?
66.
So start counting. Can they even see us down there? They look like an ant, okay? But if we were going to make it accurate, that's how far it has to be. But look at that gap. Can y'all see us? That's how far it is from the murders to the students' class. That's a lot further than it looks like in the classroom. Right? If you find a really good lead or suspect within 48 hours, your chance of solving a murder is about 60 to 80%. If it goes longer than 10 years, the chance is less than 5%. Now, there's a few things that can change it. Number one, changes in DNA technology. Did that come along? It did. But to be honest, DNA started changing in the early 90s. They could have tested that stuff in the 90s, couldn't they? They were doing DNA tests in the 90s, but they didn't. And the other thing is people lose focus and they forget about it. So what was the importance of the students in January and May of 2018? To bring attention back to it. The chance that any of this work was going to get done was almost nothing. And then all this stuff started happening. That 2018 class brought so much attention to the case.
Why hasn't the murder and the woman been identified yet?
New information in decades-old redhead murders. An Elizabethton High School teacher and his students could be onto a major break in this case.
That put pressure on local agencies to look back at these cases. At the same time, genetic genealogy was becoming more of a thing. And all of a sudden, things just started to click into place.
Breaking news story this morning: after more than 3 decades, a victim that could be linked to the red-headed murderers cases has been identified. Investigators submitted a sample of the victim's remains to a Center for Human Identification. They did find a match. The victim is 17-year-old Elizabeth Lamont.
Elizabeth Lamont left a youth detention center in Manchester, New Hampshire on November 22nd, 1984.
She was 17. She got a pass to go to the high school football game. And she just never came back.
An autopsy revealed her cause of death was trauma to the head. Her body was found 3 to 6 weeks after she died.
Police couldn't rule out strangulation.
Yet another redhead victim identified.
Her name is Tracy Walker. She disappeared from Indiana and ended up dead 400 miles from home in Campbell County.
Her body found at a backwoods dump site.
She was called Baby Girl Jane Doe because of how small she was when she was found. They thought she was an estimated range of 9 to 15 years old, so she was very small when they found her bones. She went missing from a mall in Lafayette, Indiana. Strangulation was the suspected cause of death based off of evidence that was found near Tracy Walker's bones.
A 5th woman potentially linked to the redhead murders has been identified.
A corporation specializing in forensic genetic genealogy has identified those remains as Michelle Inman of Nashville.
Her name was Michelle Inman. She went missing from Nashville, Tennessee, and she was actually in a relationship with another felon.
U.S. Attorney calls Percy Priest bombing an insane plot.
It says they plan to use a boat and scuba gear to loot the downtown